Welcome to AM Reviews. This is Sal, and I'm here with my buddy Skybear. What's up, Skybear?
Yo, what's up, Sal?
Not much. Well, this is Movie Roundup. This is movies that we didn't have time to do a full review of. So this is just a short recap, and our rating system is down in the description in case you want to follow along. So, Skybear, which movies have you seen?
What I've seen lately is I saw Wonder.
Oh, so yeah, what'd you think of it?
I thought it was a nice, good, family-friendly movie. And I did it well, and I know you saw this one earlier, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I appreciated the different perspectives on the story. I thought it was just going to be all from the little kid's perspective, but I was pleasantly surprised that it wasn't. And I thought everyone did a great job, and everyone, it was just an all-around good movie. So, yeah, I give it like an 8. Although, I gotta say, I did appreciate how this movie was, kind of made you, feel okay, to be different. And that, it's not a problem. There's always someone, who can relate and, enjoys the same things you do. But that being said, I wish that they could have found an actor who actually did have whatever Augie had that that affected him.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure if it was a disease or something.
I think the whole point about it was that there might be people, but they're still kind of not sure of themselves to be on camera, or they're still kind of shy to come out and step forward. I mean, I also wanted to see somebody, come out with, I don't want to call it disability because it's not a disability, but something wrong with themselves that they can't accept, or they think other people are going to judge them for, and then just empower them by putting them in front of the TV or a screen and give them a platform. Yeah, I felt the same way. That would have been nice.
Yeah, but I mean, I understand why they didn't do that too.
Yes.
I still thought it was a great movie.
Yeah, it was a great movie, and I love the way they put Star Wars reference into there. Hey, Star Wars brings everybody together, right?
Exactly. And I saw The Disaster Artist.
Oh, I did too.
Yeah, what did you think?
Okay, so let's tell the people what The Disaster Artist is.
It's about the making of the movie The Room, and The Room is considered the worst film of all time in many circles.
The best, worst movie. That's what people have said.
And if you've heard of the movie Ed Wood, or seen the movie Ed Wood, this movie is basically just like that.
Yeah, but what they've marketed it as was the movie based off the book, based off the worst great movie ever. So if it makes sense, it's like the movie was made, but somebody wrote about behind the scenes when they were filming that movie, and this is the movie based off that book. And I think it was it was a best friend of Tommy who wrote the book or something. So
the guy who stars in it.
Yes, I think his name Greg or Craig. Yes.
Yeah.
So I mean, I remember in college people telling me about this movie, and even we had friends who were like, "Hey, I have it," or I have it on my computer. Do you guys want to watch it? And we would go, and it was just like you go into the room and it's like a drinking party kind of thing. And they're playing it in the background on computers. I would never sit through the whole movie because you would come in and go because people would always be coming in and out. But yeah, I remember the movie when I was in college. So for me, it was like, remember that movie I saw in college? Yeah. So for me, it was like, oh, I'm like, this adds a little extra, footage to it. And I enjoyed it. I actually enjoyed the acting. So 7.5 out of 10 for me. What about you?
I would give the same rating.
Yeah, I mean, it's not something that really adds anything to the movie itself. If you really want to, you can go watch the actual movie before you watch The Disaster Artist, or watch The Disaster Artist and then go, if you're still interested, go see the original movie. There's actually screenings going on, midnight screenings all around the US, and actually Tommy, the director, producer, and actor will be there. Sometimes he comes off after the movie into the Q&A.
Gotcha. And I also saw Lady Bird.
Oh, what'd you think of it?
I thought it was a well-made movie, and I enjoyed the performances, and I have a soft spot for coming-of-age movies as well. But yeah, overall, I thought it was good. It was enjoyable. I give it a 7. Yeah, I give it a 7 out of 10.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I give it a little higher than you before, I think, in the other movie roundup. But to me, it was just basically the whole idea that it was not a whole story. It's not like a beginning and middle and end. It's just you walking along this girl. It's like you said, a coming of age movie, but it's just an awkward feeling to it, you know. And to me, that kind of
Well,
like
yeah, and
makes
that's
it.
due to Greta Gerwig and her preferred movie making ways and acting styles and all of that.
Yeah. Okay. So I think in the last movie, I praised it a lot and said that this was going to be. I think you said this was going to be, in my opinion, her Pulp Fiction. Do you think she can make another movie that's going to be better than this, or what do you think?
Well, I mean, this is her first one, so I am excited to see what else she is going to come out with.
Yeah,
because I do appreciate.
I mean, I'm excited
what,
too.
well,
I'm excited to see what
yeah.
she has, yet to offer. But do you think critics and stuff like that will basically judge her on just this work, or say, hey, yeah, this was your first work, let's give you, another shot or something? Or they're gonna just
Yeah, well, I think a lot of critics usually compare previous works to whatever it is they're watching that this person made next, instead of just looking at it as a whole, which is what I try to do most of the time. But sometimes you can't help yourself.
Yeah, no. Sometimes you really just when you see a name, you basically look at their previous work and try to get an idea of what their style is. And yeah, I mean, for better or worse, sometimes you're like, hey, this is the style they did before. I'm expecting a similar, film. But yeah, sometimes since it's their first movie, they might change, reinvent themselves. So let's see what she does. And I'm gonna go see whatever she makes next. I'm really excited for her. And yeah.
Right. And the last one on my list is 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. And ooh, I thoroughly enjoyed this movie, Sal.
I know you would.
Yeah, I love the writing, I love the story, I love the acting. Just everything about it was a good movie. Yeah, I give it like an 8.5.
The actors were so great in that movie. Every character, like at the beginning, like when you see that character, you might hate him, but then the more you see him, the more you're like, hey, I kind of understand your point of view. I kind of understand where you're coming from. And now I know why, some of the characters would change. They would have, change their ways and stuff like that. And you're like, okay, I get it. But the movie was so well written. It was well paced.
And it's such a great dark comedy film, too.
Yes.
Like, that's what I appreciated about it, too. It's just like, damn, I feel kind of bad about laughing at this, but it's pretty funny, too.
Well, did you see that CG scene with the deer? How do you feel about that?
I did. I noticed it, but it didn't bother me.
Okay.
It was like the removal of Superman's mustache. Like, yeah, I saw it, but like it didn't really matter that much.
Do you feel the same way? I feel that they could have done well without it. They could have just like not included.
Oh no, I liked it. I thought it was a good story beat to have.
Oh, okay.
So, what have you seen lately, Sal?
Oh well, I have one more that I went to go see. It's the animated movie. I guess it's from Spain, so it's in Spanish, but it's subbed in English here. It's called Bird Boy and the Forgotten Children.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it's a cartoon, let me put it this way. Think of it as a Ghibli movie, but with a darker side and darker tone.
Oh, okay.
The art is really good. It's amazing what they do with it, but then it just throws you into this like abyss of like darkness. Topics are involved in the story, which is they touch upon like poverty, degradation of the earth. They touch upon society, how it's falling apart, and I mean, it's so many things involved in it, and it just looks like a little kid's movie, but then you start paying attention to all these details and everything, and even since the beginning, it's like throws you, and then there's drug use in it, and depression, and then all these characters are dealing with this, and it's this movie, you just sit there and you're like always tense, and you're like, what am I seeing? But at the same time, when you finish it, you're like, okay, I understand. It's an artistic movie. These people are trying to show a point. But I think it's too many points they make at the same time. So for me, the movie was, I give it a 7 out of 10. You should go see it and see what you think of it yourself.
That does sound interesting, and I would love to check that out.
Yeah, and then just for people who go see this, from the same directors who did the movie, there's a short film before it called Decorado, which is a Spanish word, and I think the English translation they use is set. So it's about a character who says that, don't you think the world is just a set, like a living set? Everything is just here, and there's nothing original about it. And he looks like he's depressed, but then it's like this short film that stretches for a while, and then you see product placement, like almost like a Disney movie, like Acne, and then you see a character referencing to Donald Duck. So it's these movies these directors made, and I think they're really trying to put out a point out there saying, like, you know, cartoons or movies shouldn't always be branded by commercialism and stuff like that. So I mean, I still,
or Disney,
yeah, I mean, Disney's always buying everything left and right. But I just think it was a great pre-step to the movie. I mean, it sets you up to expect what you're expecting for the movie. So the short actually is a baby step to the movie. So it's getting you ready to what you're going to see for the movie. So and also I want to say that this movie is based off a graphic novel from the actual director of the movie. So I think I haven't checked it out, but I'm thinking I might check it out too. It's called Psiconauts.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that one.
Yeah, so it's a Spanish graphic novel. I think it might be translated into English. So I'm gonna check that out and see how that pays, you know, to the movie and see if it adds anything to it. So that's it for this movie roundup. Social media's in the description, and hit us up if you have any questions. And remember, keep watching movies.